Mayweather against Maidana. Fairly controversial, so people say. How did you see it?
I wish I'd have had that referee. But,
yeah, I agree.
But no, you know, it's... I don't know, I think Mayweather was on a bit of a good hiding to nothing. He's had so many big, massive, mega fights, hasn't he? You know, I mean, his last one was huge against Alvarez. And I think maybe it's one of them fights, I don't know, maybe he couldn't get up for. You know, he got cut for the first time, you know. Maidana, you know, turned up, he was like a man possessed, to be honest with you. I didn't think he had that performance in him, to be honest with you. But, no, I think... But Mayweather has had a lot of fights, hasn't he now? You know, the time might be coming, but I think maybe he couldn't get up for it, to be honest with you, because he was everyone thought it was a foregone conclusion.
It's a hard thing, though, to be a pro 19 years, to be a world champion 18 years, to carry all of that money, all of that responsibility, the biggest star, the biggest earner in sport, period, far more than all of the players in any other sport. And then, of course, at the end of the day, time does take its toll. You know that. You can't turn that clock back.
Yeah, well, you know, somebody said to me, when I had my greatest night in Manchester, when I beat CHISORA, you know, they said, now you've climbed the mountain, how are you going to climb that mountain again from there on in? And I was very fortunate to win 3 more world titles after it, and we had all them great fights in Vegas and stuff like that. But, you know, for what I've achieved, you know, Floyd has quadrupled it, you know, so, I mean, if I climbed the mountain against CHISORA all them years ago, how many mountains do you think Floyd Mayweather's fight? So you can't blame the man for getting a little bit complacent with everything that he has on his shoulders.
What are you up to these days? Your last fight was a couple of years ago, 12 magnificent world title victories in the MENs, 57,000 at Manchester City's ground, 30-odd, 40,000 a few times to Las Vegas. I know you're planning a charity football match late this afternoon. What are you up to now day to day?
Well, I'm coaching now. I mean, I'm promoting and coaching, and I think I speak for any sportsman, whether you've been a footballer, a boxer, cricket, whatever sport you've been in. I think once you've hung the gloves up or hung the boots up, I think the best thing you could do is probably bring the next one through, and that's what I'm doing now, promoting. I get a huge lot of satisfaction when, say, I get someone a European title, you know, or a British title, and, you know, the lad comes up to me and says, thanks Ricky, I've paid my mortgage off now and everything. It makes me feel, you know, proud. And when I show a little move to one of my lads who I'm coaching in the gym and it comes off in the fight, you know, it's very, very pleasing for me. You know, boxing gave me such a wonderful life, and my family a wonderful life, a life that I could have probably never dreamed of. And if I can give some youngster out there the same happiness I've had from the sport, then that's what I'm in it for. Boxing is a passion for me, Steve. You know, I was never gonna, you know, win me titles, earn me money, and go and sit on a beach somewhere. You know, I'm passionate about the sport, and the next one would. The next thing would be to try and bring the next champion through, the next Brit through, or Mancunian through. That would hopefully make the country as proud as I hope I did.
Yeah, right as well. Now, Rick, there's been some big nights since you vacated the MEN, since the Costa Zoo night. Obviously, Joe and what's his face, we're not even going to say his name because people start arguing and debating who should have won and who shouldn't have won. Now, we've got a fight coming up, the Phones for Us, or Phones for You venue. It was the 9X, was the MEN, I think it was something else in the middle if I'm not mistaken. This thing here, the big lads, you've seen enough of the two of them. How do you see this fight going?
Well, it's a great fight, to be honest with you. You know, the heavyweight division in Britain for such a long time was non-existent, wasn't it? You know, and now when you think you've got, you know, Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora, David Price, you know, it's become exciting again in this country. And you know, for being a Mancunian, I am a proud Mancunian. I couldn't be any more prouder than this city. And the thought of Manchester having a potential heavyweight world champion is something that, you know, we've ticked so many boxes and had so many great nights in Manchester sport and Manchester boxing. I think there could be nothing better that we could bring to our city than having a Mancunian heavyweight champion. And, you know, that's what we've got when Tyson fights Derek. But Derek has been in so many great fights. He's had so many great wins. I mean, you know, his knockout loss to David A. Them knockout defeats can make or break a fighter. It made Derek Chisora. I think he's the best Derek Chisora has ever boxed at the minute. He's come back, he's won the European title, you know, so it's a different Derek Chisora to who Tyson beat the first time, most certainly.
Well, he shifted 3 or 4 stone because his mum...
That's nothing.
I know it's nothing for you by your standards or even my standards, but he shifted about 3 or 4 stone because his mum threatened to kick him out. And the reason why she did that was quite simple, was because he was eating her out of house and home, and she didn't think he was being serious, so she slapped him and faced him down and said, listen, you're going to have to lose weight. So they took away the biscuits, they took away the treats, because he was ending up like a pet poodle, just jumping around and eating as much as he could. And he is a different fighter now. Do you think it's make or break for the loser, Rick, or is the heavyweight scene so buoyant, so big, that the loser can even go on?
No, I think there's, you know, I think there's just chance for the loser. I mean, you know, I think you've got David Price wanting to make a statement, wanting to bounce back from his defeats. You know, I think the loser would be a good fight for David Price. I actually have an Australian heavyweight, Lucas Brown, who boxed on Box Nation. You know, who's just broke into the top 10. So there's lots of openings there, to be honest with you. But I think Tyson Fury is the real deal, me. You know, and sometimes a lot of people don't share that enthusiasm because he likes to chat, doesn't he, our Tyson? But
he's got a big mouth.
But you know, a lot of people would say, you know, well, he's all talk and no substance. I don't share that enthusiasm. I think he's the real deal. But the one thing for the knockers that Tyson has, I think this fight will clear it up once and for all, that whether he's the real deal or not.
What about you? Do you think? I mean, I'm not quite sure what sort of crowd we got here today. What about you? Is Tyson the real deal? Is Tyson a guy that can go on and compete at heavyweight level, or is he just gobby? What do we think? Yes, he's gobby, or yes, he's a good fighter?
Yes, he's a good fighter.
Yes, he's gobby and a good fighter? No?
Good fighter.